So, you got some ground beef? You're bored with a regular hamburger? Make yourself a meatloaf hamburger. Hey y'all, it's Tammy and Chris with Collard Valley Cooks, and tonight we're making a quick supper, and instead of a regular old hamburger, we decided to make a meatloaf hamburger, and boy does it taste good. We're making some hamburgers tonight. I got some onion. I'm going to dice it pretty small. I'm going to cut up a little bit of pepper, and we're going to put some onion and pepper because we are going to make meatloaf hamburgers. Yummy. So we're going to use pretty much a meatloaf recipe, minus a couple of small things that would make it stick to the bottom of the pan. And I'm only mixing up a couple of burgers, so that's plenty of onion. All right, and then I'm going to take just a little bit of bell pepper and chop up a little bit for our burger. And I really got out too much. I'll have to wrap these in foil, this extra stuff. Now, if you were feeding the whole family, of course, you would chop up a lot more onion and pepper, but just use your judgment as to how much you think you should chop up. Hope y'all had a wonderful, wonderful day today. I sure did. Chris went fishing, so he had a good day, I'm sure. All right, we are going to get us out a little of this ground beef. And before I get my hands in it, I'm going to make sure all my ingredients are open so that I can use them. Now the ketchup, the brown sugar, and the onion powder is actually going to go for a topping for the hamburger, okay? But this is going to go in the hamburger. And my recipe calls for a half a sleeve of crackers. I think I call them soda crackers, and somebody said, no, I got saltines on here. But I've called them that before, and people don't know what I'm talking about. But I just mean regular old saltine crackers. That's what I mean. So we're going to put some onions and pepper in here for our burgers. That ought to be plenty. Now I'm going to put in some roasted garlic powder. And some Worcestershire. And then a lot of y'all probably say, I make hamburgers like that all the time. That ain't nothing new. Well, the difference is going to be, it's pretty much what I put in my meatloaf. The only difference is I don't have a Lipton onion soup mix in here. And we will make a meatloaf topping to go on top of our hamburger. So I think that's going to be enough ground beef. So we're going to mix this up good. Now, some people don't like to use their hands, but boy, I love to use mine. That's what Mama taught me to do. If for some reason you don't, then use a mixer. That is a stand mixer. If you don't have a stand mixer, then for heaven's sakes, use your hands. And get everything mixed in there really good. You don't want the egg just sitting on one side of one of the burgers.
And they could use gloves if they wanted.
Yeah, they could use gloves if y'all wanted to. And I take my burgers out, put them on the counter. I pat them. And Chris likes big old fat ones, don't you, Chris?
Mm-hmm.
He does.
Big hamburger.
Chris likes a big burger. Is that big enough, or you want it thicker?
No, it's fine.
All right, and I like thin ones. Me and my girls like thin ones. Look, I mixed up too many, really. But now I'll have some extra.
Be good tomorrow for lunch.
Yeah, and we can have it for lunch tomorrow. But I'm only going to fry up 2 tonight. Chris can fry him up 1 tomorrow. He's wanting to use the air fryer, and I said, nope. I love the air fryer, but not really for hamburgers. I like my good old iron skillets over there preheating and getting ready. If you like your hamburgers well done, make them thin like that. Now I'm going to rinse my hands off and my skillet's quite hot. Chris, go ahead and turn it down just a little bit for me. I want it good and hot, but we gotta get us a spatula. And I'm gonna pick this up. This one's mine. Put it in here. And I probably should have oiled it a little bit. Wouldn't hurt. And this is crispy. Now while those get good and hot, and I want them to have a really good dark sear on them. I like my hamburgers to be good and charred. So, we will go ahead and mix up some of the topping. And we just need enough for a couple of hamburgers. So just use your judgment. 1, 2's plenty. You're going to use a little bit of onion powder in it. You don't want to use too much. I'll do it this way, so I don't mess up. Okay, and a little brown sugar. So I'll just lay some in there, like that. I'm just going to take a fork and mix it up. Now, if it were meatloaf, this would cook on top of the meat in the oven. So I'm going to just stick it in the microwave for a minute and get it good and, you know, hot. Alright, we're going to pick mine up. I always turn a spatula upside down and really scrape my meat from the bottom of an iron skillet before I try to flip it the other way. When you put egg in your hamburger, it will make it look a little bit more charred, and it actually burns it a little bit because we put crackers in here and egg and stuff like that. So keep that in mind too. You don't want to just fry it too awful hot, but I do like mine brown like that. I think it's delicious. I'm just buttering these buns. I'm going to throw them in the air fryer for about 3 minutes on 350, 3 to 4 minutes. And that way they'll be good and toasty for our hamburgers. Okay, we got our buns getting nice and toasty. And so I'm going to take these burgers out of the skillet. Let's see what the other side looks like. Our topping is ready. And our burgers are ready. Now, these are dark, but they're delicious, trust me. If you don't want them to get this dark, all you gotta do is leave out the egg. When you put hamburgers on the grill, putting an egg in them doesn't make them look dark, but when you put them on direct heat, of course the egg wants to look like it's burnt, when it's really not. All right, here we go. Chris has got the big one. Big burger. So we're going to put our meatloaf topping on it. And on mine, I'm actually going to put mustard. Do you want mustard on yours, Chris?
No.
But now, when I eat a leftover meatloaf sandwich, the next day, I load it with ketchup and mustard. So this is normal for me in meatloaf sandwiches.
I put mayonnaise on
But
mine.
this is a meatloaf burger. You put mayonnaise on your meatloaf sandwich?
Yep.
You want mayonnaise on this?
I'll taste it first before
Okay.
I might.
Woohoo! I'm going to taste mine.
You want to cut it in half, or you want this?
Well, I guess I can. I was hungry.
You didn't want everybody to see it?
Yes.
It's a secret.
Meatloaf hamburger. Yummy. It really does taste like meatloaf. Yummy.
All right, y'all. I love meatloaf sandwiches. That's my favorite thing about having meatloaf. But this is better than a meatloaf sandwich because it's fresh. It's not a day old. It's absolutely delicious, and because that topping is not cooked for so long, you can really taste the sugar and stuff. I mean, it is outstanding. Thumbs up. I would give it 2 thumbs up, but I'm holding the sandwich in this hand. So 1 thumbs up, 2 if I had this open, and it's awesome.
It's so awesome. I already ate all of mine. Y'all have a wonderful day, and thanks for watching Color Valley Cooks, where we make a meatloaf hamburger. Bye, y'all. Love ya. Come back and see me now.